guys, welcome to the DMX Show. I'm your host Shane, and I've been getting a lot of requests on the Galaxy Nexus root toolkit by Wugfresh. So I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial on how to, first on this video, I'm going to show you guys how to factory reset your phone and lock the bootloader. So in case like you have a brick device that's in a constant boot loop, you can't seem to boot up your phone, this would help you to get back to factory as well as lock your device. Or let's just say like maybe your volume button is broken, you got to take it back to Verizon. They're not going to service it if it's unlocked and it's ROMmed and things like that. So you're going to have to set it back to factory and of course lock your bootloader. So that's what this video is going to focus on, and then we're going to do an unlock and root tutorial as well. So what you need to do is grab this toolkit from the link in the description, get that downloaded, install it, make a, let's see, it will install it to the C drive, so you'll just want to make a shortcut for your desktop there for easy access. Choose the version of phone that you have. I have a CDMA from Verizon. If yours is GSM, you'll need to make sure you select that there. Next thing you want to do is click this SDK and files. I've already done this, so I'm not going to do this right now, but you have to do this. Do not skip it because it has to install some extra files. So it says, do you already have the SDK set up on this machine? No, I don't. Please set it up for me. If you've never set up the SDK, you don't have to have a headache over doing that. This will do it for you. Just select one, it'll automatically install it, or if you already have it, select two. Then the next step is to install the drivers. Don't skip that either. If you don't have the correct Samsung drivers, this will not work. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next step, flash stock plus unroot. Wugfresh says do not plug in your device until, let's get it a little closer so maybe you guys can see better. Okay, he says don't plug in your device until it tells you to. So we're going to go ahead and click flash stock plus unroot. You want to do this first and then Oem Lock. So flash stock plus root. Which factory image? We're going to go with the Android 4.0.2, or if you have another one that you've downloaded, anything newer than that that you have downloaded, you can go to other and choose that. It says download and extract the factory image for me, or it has already been downloaded. So if you've already done this, you can select that, but I haven't, so I'm going to select OK, and we're going to let it download. This may take several minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it here. Okay guys, so once it's finished downloading the factory file, it's going to pull up this ADB prompt, and it didn't find my device because I didn't have it plugged in, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, and we will set that to the side, and then we'll go back to our ADB here. It says, do you see any ADB devices listed? So we'll select 2 for no because I didn't have it plugged in. Make sure your device is connected. It's telling you to do that, and ready to try again. And my device is there, so we'll go with 1, and it's rebooting into Bootloader. So now it's going to flash the stock image. It says, do you see any fast boot devices listed above? And I do, so we're going to select yes, or 1. It says flashing stock and unrooting. Press any key to start. So now we're going to flash stock and unroot. This is all just easy as can be, automatic, and it's rebooting into Bootloader. And let's see here. It's just going to kind of continue the process. I'm going to sit here and kind of wait and let it do its thing. So it wrote the radio, rebooted into Bootloader. Now it's sending the radio and writing radio CDMA. And it's kind of just going to walk through the whole process automatically without you really having to do anything, without you having to really rack your brain over how to do anything. Just kind of does this automatically. So while it's kind of doing that, I wanted to show you a few other features of this tool. You have backup apps and data. So, you know, like you have Titanium backup that you can use, or you could use this. This is really cool. So you back up all your apps and data. It'll save it on your computer in case something really bad happened to your SD card or whatever. they'd be accessible from your computer, and then you could always just restore your apps and data from this as well. You can go in and ADB reboot your phone or reboot your bootloader, list devices, and they have flash images that you can boot into or permanently flash from here as well. And of course you guys know about the unlock and root, which is what we're going to do in the next video. So I'll just kind of keep it here. If you get bored, fast forward. That's all I know to say. If it gets too long, I will pause it. And it's rebooting into the bootloader again. And it's just kind of doing its thing here, so we'll just kind of watch it. It says writing boot, writing recovery. While I have a moment here, guys, I can talk about the website, guys. DroidModerX.com used to be totally DroidX stuff, but it's kind of turned into a multi-device website. So I have multiple devices that I cover. I'm going to put all the news on the latest mods, ROMs, and hacks on the front page of DroidModerX from now on. So if I'm writing an article on any of the sub pages, it'll also go directly to DroidModerX.com. So you want to go ahead and bookmark that page for all the latest in news for ROMs, mods, and hacks for your Android device. Mostly I'm just covering Verizon devices, plus I'll throw a few tablets in there as well, and maybe I'll do videos on any other electronics that I can get my hands on. Guys, you can also follow me at DroidModerX with an E, not a 3 on Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as I keep this thing updated as much as possible. So if you're like not patient, obviously you could go grab something to drink, come back, go read a book, go watch a TV show, whatever. This apparently it takes several minutes, maybe more minutes than I want to sit here for. Like I said, I may pause it if it goes any longer. It's now writing the system, which will probably be the longest. Of course, this will put you back to factory 4.0.2. Most of the ROMs that we've been running are on 4.0.3, which was kind of leaked out last month. They kind of did a soak test for Nexus S devices, and we did not receive anything over the air. But, of course, our developers got their hands on it through the GitHub. Rebooting. And it says, booting up your freshly flashed stock device. Wait for your device to finish booting up. It may take a while and appear to be boot looping. Just wait. So, you see that I'm still, I don't know, you didn't see it, but, okay, I have my factory boot animation. That is not what I had before I just flashed this, so I know that it has worked in at least replacing my boot animation. I did see when the Google screen came up, though, that I was still unlocked, so we will have to go in there and Oem Lock the device, which we will do that as soon as this boots up. And it could take several minutes to boot up, so we'll just kind of sit here and wait for it to boot up. Like I said, if you get bored, just fast forward. And I imagine the OEM lock will be a whole lot quicker than this process because it'll just send a few commands and then lock it. So that should not take nearly as long. Okay, so when it's finished, it'll all be booted back up. You'll be at the welcome screen. We need to go in here and turn on USB debugging before we continue. I don't know. It may have us to go into bootloader mode, probably. We'll see. So we're going to finish. As it's press any key to exit, so we'll exit. Okay, so it says to proceed to the OEM unlock. Let's go into settings and turn on USB debugging real quick. Oh my goodness, where is it? Developer options, USB debugging, we'll turn that on. Okay. And so now we're going to go to the OEM lock. It says this will relock your device back to the original equipment. Manufacturer specification, you must use the flash stock option first, which we already did. Enable USB debugging on your Galaxy Nexus, which we just did. Plug it in and then press any key to continue. So we're good to continue. So do you see any ADB devices? And we do see that there. So we'll press 1 for yes. And it's rebooting into Bootloader. So see, it does everything automatically. I didn't even have to boot it into Bootloader. Do you see any fast boot devices? And I do. Check 1. It says relocking your stock device. So if you look down here, it says lock state locked. And it's rebooting the device. And you'll see that it is now locked. So we're back to factory and we are locked. Guys, it was super easy. I didn't have to know anything about SDK or ADB to get it to work. Thank goodness, Wugfresh. You're awesome. You're a lifesaver. I do recommend that you learn how to do it the correct way. I have videos on how to do it the correct way. But if you're in a bind, you don't have the SDK set up, this is definitely the way to go. Or if you're a newbie or a beginner and it is a little intimidating to you, this is definitely the way to go. Once again, I will say thank you, Wugfresh, for the awesome toolkit. Guys, check out droidmodderx.com for all the latest in news, ROMs, mods, and hacks for your Android device. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at droidmodderx with an E, not a 3, and also be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.